What if in 1 hour you could have a Christ-level miracle healing happen for you? And it's happening for a lot of people. Introducing the biologically resonant Harmonizer is a sound frequency harmonic resonant tuning healing device that is dissolving old traumas and events, stresses as chaotic energetic patterns, data that are weighing you down, impeding life force flow through you, causing dis-ease as emotional, physical, and spiritual issues. Today, we have the testimonial of Christina with an incredibly high level of restoration and balance to her body, her regaining of her hearing in deaf ears, feeling truly alive and whole for the first time throughout her entire adult life. Possible resolution of unfinished business with her children and mother, with the renewed hope and promise for a much better future from now on. A magnificent future. And now, here is Christina's testimony. Okay, and if you want to sit up, if you can make it.
Wow. Okay, wow. That was wild.
You want to share what happened?
Well, seems like I guess during one of the songs, I was out hovering, I guess, above the ocean, you could say, and in the waves coming towards me from every direction were, I guess my angels maybe, or I'm not sure. It was, they were, I couldn't necessarily see faces or I don't
Where
know
were
if it
they
was,
at? So you're hovering above the ocean, you see the waves. Where are these beings at?
they're coming up out of the waves. The waves are coming towards me, and these they were feminine, feeling type of energy. They're coming out of the waves towards me from every direction. I would say there was probably 7, 9 of them, maybe.
So they're coming towards you. Can you describe that further?
Almost like I was very familiar with them, and they were almost like coming to rescue me. That's the feeling that I got from it, was that they were there to support and rescue. And even though we didn't connect physically at all, I don't think I felt the water at all. If they even that's the best way I could describe it. There were just waves coming around me, just like an embrace.
Describe this feeling of being embraced.
It's like a hug of energy that it's not a hug that I have ever received before. Nothing that I could put into any sort of physical feeling I've ever felt before. The hug is an embrace of safety.
Would you call it pure love?
That's
It's something that we just don't experience here.
That would be a good way of putting it. Just acceptance, acceptance and safety was really how I felt.
All right. So, did it go any further than that?
I feel like I had like little bits of kind of like conversations with different people, or clips of previous conversations that I've had, like experiences. Not anything in particular that I could say, oh, I talked about this before. This is what, this was the subject matter of the conversation, but I feel like there just were these segments of like familiarity with familiar people and familiar subjects, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
That's the best way I can describe it.
Very possibly is it possible that all these varying conversations, you said you had many?
Yeah. There were, I know there was at least 3. That was with my 3 children. With my children. I want to say I had a conversation with my mother.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't spoken to her in years.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say there was a conversation with my mother in there somehow. I'm not sure who else. I feel like at one point I could hear other conversations, but not any that were my own.
So you were hearing others also?
Yeah.
So you were somewhere, that's for sure.
Yeah, I was definitely somewhere, but I'm also like I don't want to miss anything type of person. So I'm like a control freak, I guess you could say. And so for me to be able to fully let go in my mind is very difficult. I have difficulty relaxing. So I feel like, I didn't necessarily let myself experience what I probably could have if I was just able to relax.
You mean even within that realm, part of you was still holding on?
Right. Once I realized what was happening, like when I was in the water, in the ocean, and I was, being embraced by whatever or whoever, it was kind of like it was so clear and vivid that it was like, whoa, like I snapped myself back into it because it was just like, whoa, I don't want to forget that, like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, like, and then I had to try and.
So you're saying part of you became enmeshed and enveloped in this sea of love, but then a part of you came back and remembered your fears and you backed off a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty good at self-sabotaging, and I feel like just because it was such a crazy experience that it's nothing I've ever felt before, I just wanted to, I almost wanted to just get up and write it down.
Well, you're writing it down right now.
So I could clearly just like never forget it.
Is there any other descriptive words that you want to share with people about what happened, or to remind yourself of anything while you watch this video?
There's love in everything, and we're programmed to focus on negativity and
here on Earth.
That's our society's programming us to focus on negativity, and it's just easier to I guess, distract us from our real purpose.
Okay, so you found that a greater part of you went to the love dimension and experienced the greater reality of what it is that we truly are and what we are a part of. And you were able to get a taste of that here, which not many people ever get to feel that. People that have NDEs do.
Yeah, and it's just
Anything more about the experience itself, the waves, the angels, love wrapping around you, conversations with relatives, your 3 children, mother, and you were hearing other conversations, maybe conversations with some other people that you knew. Was there anything else that happened?
I just feel more connected. I feel more connected
More
right
whole.
now. To
More whole?
Yeah, to myself, to this room, to
So I want to tell you, while we're here on Earth and all the traumas that we go through, we become defragmented. Okay, pieces of ourself all break off, and you lose that feeling of wholeness. And also, the trauma really does record this data in our body.
Yeah.
And these vibrations, like strings on a piano, we get into any situation that reminds us remotely of these things, they can begin vibrating again, come up in our lives, and for all of a sudden, fear comes up where in this situation, really, there was nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah.
So one, you're on the Harmonizer. You have vibrations going through your body, lifting that off. Your body had fallen asleep. Your consciousness woke back up, directed by the sounds in the love dimension. It knew where to take you and what you needed automatically, because that's what God does. And you're first showered by love. You perceive that as angels coming towards you. You're immersed in the living waters of whom all shall drink, as Jesus said. You were immersed in the living waters of life. It was renewing you and refreshing you. Now you're moving on for unresolved issues. You had things to share with your children so that you can clear certain things inside yourself. You had things to clear with your mother so that you were able to clear unresolved, painful issues inside yourself. You may have had conversations with others, but you also heard the voices of others, because, man, it's one big dimension over there, and there's a lot of souls. Go ahead, you let it go, honey.
Thank you.
We've held on for a long time.
Thank you.
And you had a wonderful healing.
Thank you.
All right, now do me a favor. Get up for a second and stretch and feel your body and see what you feel like.
Yet? I didn't bring my tap shoes, but oh my gosh, I feel like
Stretch out. Raise your hands up. Tell me what you overall feel like.
I feel like I am standing up straight for the first time in my life, actually. I feel like I'm standing up straight.
Okay, so ready
like
for this? Draw a line straight down your body with your hand. Okay, now you have energy running straight up and down your spine. It is not being diverted in all this different fragmentation, which we feel because it's in our energy field. Our energy field gets warped. Part of it's in here, part of it's out there. And you've been cleared, so all of a sudden, all that fragmentation is not there. And that's why you're feeling what you're feeling.
I feel actually balanced. I feel very balanced.
Okay. Is there anything on departing that you would like to share with people watching?
Everyone needs this. Everyone needs this. All the busyness and the hustle and bustle and the go that we're forced into every day. Taking that I don't know how long I was on there. I don't know how long that was, but I feel like
How long do you think it might have been?
I really don't know. Maybe like, I'm not sure. It felt like maybe 40 minutes.
It was an hour.
Wasn't an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if I would have taken that hour 20 years ago, I wouldn't have made myself suffer through some of the things that I did.
Okay, well, you know what? It is now, right now, and right now, you've had a great healing. So thank you so much for sharing your story with everyone and with me. And I'm sure that life is going to dramatically shift for you at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Mom.
Okay, we are back with Christine. This is the following day. And she told me some things on the phone of what she noticed. So now that she's here again, Chris, what's going on? What happened since your session yesterday?
Yeah, it's been about 24 hours since my first session, and last night when I was laying in bed, I have very bad hearing. My partner was actually whispering to me, and I could hear what he was saying, and we were actually having a conversation in a whispering tone, which hasn't happened for me in probably my entire adult life. And I didn't even think about it. It was just a very natural thing, and he pointed out to me, hey, you can hear me right now. And I'm like, wow, I can. So this morning when I woke up, the way I woke was, I felt like a new person. I felt like a different person in my skin, where I had new skin, and even touching myself to scratch my arms, or there's more of I feel more whole behind my skin. I feel like what's behind my skin is more alive. There's purpose, substance, reason behind my skin. That's the best way I could describe it. I know it sounds very strange, but also, I have 3 kids, and so my back obviously has been an issue for, close to 15 years, and it's just kind of always there. I'm sure other people that have 3 kids, one which was enormous, they understand, where first thing in the morning, getting up, there's kind of that ache that needs to be, you need to have a good turn and twist and stretch. I didn't feel that need to do it. I did it, I think, out of force of habit, but then I realized I didn't need to be doing it.
You've had other women report back pain disappear.
Just gone, yeah. And I haven't felt it at all today. I'm on my feet a lot, so I feel like that also is just not there anymore.
Can I go back to your hearing?
Yeah.
How do you think it's How do you think it's possible that you could lay on a sound device, have a trip to the other side, heaven or the love dimension, and have some of your hearing restored?
As I was laying on the table, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this to you yesterday because it was all so new and overwhelming, and trying to find words to describe what was happening. I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but as I was receiving the treatment, I do remember feeling like a certain kind of cracking in my left ear, as if something had been breaking open.
Do you remember if that crackling sound happened when you were on the other side or when you were just hearing the tones?
I feel like the cracking open of whatever was towards the end of my treatment. It happened after I had returned from being surrounded out in the ocean.
Okay.
And I think maybe almost it was like a breaking open and just this feeling of peace. Like, okay, you can now be at peace with this. Here you go.
Okay.
Even on my way here, the music I was listening to, which I love the Grateful Dead. I listen to the Grateful Dead all day, every day. Some of the songs I could hear instruments in the music that I didn't even really realize were there. So something happened with my hearing and at least my receiving tones and things on the table as well.
You know, it seems like the biologically resonant harmonizer is literally doing Christ level healings.
It is.
And I think that I should nickname it the Christ healing device.
Because
it would be very becoming.
It's really, and it's still very, it's a lot. It's a lot to even
amazing.
think about.
It's amazing. So our ancient brothers doing sound healing, we had the resonant chambers in Egypt, okay, and we don't have resonant chambers in that way, not with what they put in there. But it seems like the biologically resonant harmonizer is powerful enough to produce miracle effects, like some people that go into these resonant chambers get healed of all kinds of stuff. And the biologically resonant harmonizer is doing this.
It really is. It really is.
Now, you had shared one other thing with me after you were off the table a bit, and that was that you were talking to me.
Right.
Now, I find that really interesting because when you first got off the table, you remembered speaking with your children, your mother,
right,
but you didn't mention me till afterwards.
Yeah.
And you said that I was the major person you were talking to.
Right.
So
your communication, whatever we were communicating about, was the most prominent. But at the time, all of the, when we first spoke about my experience, I was still trying to process all of the emotional things that had happened without really being able to explain it.
And what happened in general.
Yeah, and what happened in general, putting words behind it is really difficult.
Out-of-body space, especially if it's love dimension space, unity space, it is not like here. Things don't unfold one step at a time there.
No.
And so many people like yourself are attempting to describe one step at a time when it doesn't unfold that way.
Right. And so, exactly. The conversations, and I don't know what they were about, one with each of my kids, one with my mother. Obviously, I have a very emotional history with them. They're my family. Right? And with you, I just met you. I don't, so I don't have that deep, long history of emotional attachment with you, where, not in this physical world, I guess.
Maybe I was giving you advice on the other side, or direction, who knows?
I do know that out of the conversations was my oldest child, my middle child, my youngest, and then my mother, and then you were the last one. But your voice was the most prominent.
Got you. Were there any more effects that you noticed, or did you share everything with everybody?
So I feel like I'm standing straight up and down for the first time. I feel like my head is the right direction. I feel like my feet are flat on the ground.
Yeah, after people get like Reiki sessions or energy healings, they do feel balanced. They feel balanced.
I feel like I could walk on my hands right now perfectly for some reason. Like I know where my center is, and I'm confident with being in my skin and in my own
Well,
self.
that's great. So I want to thank you so much for sharing all of this with us.
Thank you.
And normally what I get reported from certain people is these effects set in and get a little bit deeper each day as the system processes it. And you're a prime target. I want to wait 4 days approximately to go back on and see if you go even deeper in.
Sure.
In a journey of unfoldment for you, spiritually and for you here.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited, and I'm excited and honored at the opportunity, and really with the Harmonizer being so readily available, everyone can experience peace. Everyone. Peace is for everyone.
And healing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Bye-bye.
The biologically resonant harmonizer.
a sound frequency healing device by Second Earth.
Life and Health. SecondEarth.org.